We're glad to see your faces here, and this will be streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, so if you want to revisit it, or if you know someone who would like to be able to see it, it'll be available on our YouTube channel and our Facebook, whatever it's called, Facebook thing, our page. So I am Beth Mueller. I am the Senior Director of Worship Arts here at Shepherd of the Hills, and Jason and I actually started here within months of each other. Yep, 2008. Jason was April-ish?
No, I was like September.
September, okay. And I started in June. So we have been walking this Shepherd of the Hills journey together for a nice long time, 15 years now. So most of us, I think it probably took me a couple of years, Jason, before I figured out who he was. So, he was this, awesome piano player. But then it's like, oh, Jason teaches at Texas State. And then it was like, oh, Jason's the chair of the piano department at Texas State. Oh, Jason's playing, he can't be here next Sunday because he's playing a concert in Argentina. So, it took me a while. I want to be sure it doesn't take all the rest of us as long to figure out that we have literally one of the most talented and amazing piano players and humans on the planet on staff here at Shepherd of the Hills. And we do not deserve him. We are grateful every day that he is willing to play for us because we do not deserve him. But this has become a really wonderful tradition here at Shepherd. And it began a number of years ago. There was an older woman in our choir, Louise Froelich, who knew about the piano festival. And this was before we were talking about it in worship much. And she said to Jason, I want to give you $300 for a scholarship for one of the students. And so that was lovely, and Jason was so enthusiastic and grateful. And then she passed away. And so Jason said to me, maybe, would it be okay with you if I just, invited the choir to maybe contribute, for this? And I was like, maybe we do the whole congregation, because I think a lot of us would be pretty invested in this project. So that began sort of this annual concert where we get to hear amazing music, sometimes from Jason, and many times from some of the wonderful students who are participating in the piano festival. So I'm going to turn it over to Jason, and you are here to listen to beautiful music. If you would like to contribute to scholarships, we will make that as easy for you as humanly possible. I will be carrying a basket at all times, and you can come and find me. And at the end, we've got tons of food, a reception in the coffee bar part of the narthex. So please don't leave without eating something, because I'm not taking all of that food home with me. So Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce what's going to happen this afternoon.
I have an awesome church. Look at this. You guys are wonderful. And everybody who's watching online. Beth said that contributions will be easy for scholarships. It's even easier right now. If you see that little link towards our crowdfunding, please click on it. Just see what happens. And if you happen to have your credit card available, that's also cool. Before we get started, if you guys notice, we have a single paper program, and we also have our massive festival program. If you don't have a copy of that, please do so. If you look in one of the front pages over there, you'll notice a welcome address from the directors. I would love to take all the credit for the piano festival that goes on, but it is actually a three-headed job. And the two other directors are in-house right now. So if I can introduce them real quickly. First, our awesome Texas State piano colleague, Dr. Daria Rabotkina. Stand up, stand, yay! If you ever get a chance, please hear her play. June 4th. Sorry, something in my throat. And also, the third member, we have way back in the back row, Dr. Sungwon Park. This year was especially challenging. We've been at it, planning for this for a year now. and there's still more to do, but we're very proud of what's going to happen starting on June 3rd, so I hope you'll be able to join us. But forget that for right now. We want to talk about today. So we have 5 pianists that are going to be performing for you today. We're starting with the youngest, who's at 10 years old. And we're going with the very last person, who is the oldest, and we just won't say the age. I got you, Ben. So we're going to start off with Clark Haygood. And I know somebody who will do a much better job introducing Clark for you guys. So I would like to introduce to you our University Distinguished Professor of Theory in the School of Music at Texas State, Dr. Nico Schuler. So if you can introduce Clark for us.
In 2019, in the summer, I received an email from a former graduate student saying she has a friend who has a son who just turned 7, but when he was 6, he had just taken the AP Music Theory exam. I don't know if you know what AP is. It's Advanced Placement. It's a course for high school students to take for college credit. And so he got a perfect score on it when he was 6. And so I got in touch with Clark's dad, and then he said, yeah, he taught him some, but he doesn't know what to teach him anymore. And I said, well, I can try. And so we started meeting. And so within a few weeks, I think, we covered the rest of the undergraduate music theory. And later on, I invited him to attend two graduate courses, and from our master's program, 2 graduate music theory courses. And I'm really happy, or perhaps not so happy, to say that Clark was the best student in those graduate courses. So anyways, we have been meeting. I don't really teach Clark much, and we talk about composition, we analyze music. I encourage him to compose more, but he has always composed long before he met me. He is a very good improviser, and so we sometimes do improvisation, but he has improvised long before he met me, so I don't really, cannot take any credit for it, but the good thing about this on the program today is he composed this piece. So Clark will now play a piece that he composed, so enjoy it.
So, how many college credits did you have when you were 10? Okay, so now we're going to move on to the much, much older pianist at the age of 13, which will be the next two pianists. First, we have Mr. Braden Chang. Very, very happy to have him. And this is yet another very, very talented student that we're going to have from the studio of Dr. Susan Groves, who I've known for a long time, who's the daughter of the legendary piano professor at UT, Mr. William Race. Braden is one of these young men who's just growing up right now. And I was just telling his mother, you're never going to have to actually imagine what color his socks are because his pants are always too short. You know that age when they're really growing up. He loves sports, he loves track, and he's a heck of a pianist. He's going to introduce to you one of the most famed pieces from Beethoven's second period, the heroic period. This is Opus 53. This is famously known as the Wallstein Sonata. This is Beethoven's Opus 53, first movement by Braden Chang. Come on up, Braden. I remember being 13 when we had no idea that the Faustine Sonata was difficult. Very good, Braden. We're going to break a little bit of the protocol right now because Braden, the overachiever, has to play another concert today. So he's going to have to leave real quickly. So I would like to ask all the directors and the performers to come on up on stage for our, end of the concert pictures right now. So Josephine, Clark, Ellen's here, yay. Where'd Nico go? Anywhere you like. Come on up.
I guess this is fine.
And you guys are welcome to take the pictures too. A couple more. We have some of the parents. Okay, Braden, get your cookies and your cake for your trip. Okay, be right there. All right, for our next performer, I actually don't know who's older between Josephine and Braden, but Josephine's also 13. And she's also playing a piece that's very, very difficult, but she plays it so well. I heard her warm up. One of the things that I want to mention about Josephine, this is how long the festival's been around. She is actually a student of a student that was at the festival for 2 years. And I think that that's kind of amazing, but I think about my colleague, Dr. Sung Park. She was a student there too, and now she runs the thing. So we've come a long way in our 14 years of existence. Anyways, Josephine's also from Austin, goes to Canyon Vista Middle School, just like Michael Glass, or way back when. And she's going to play some Rachmaninoff Chrysler for you. So Josephine. Once again, what were you doing when you were 13? Incredible. Just a little bit of a comment over here. Usually every year we do this, I usually have to go back to Beth and just go, Beth, I'm afraid we have about 2 or 3 checks that was made out to the church instead. So please make your checks out to TSIPF, or Texas State International Piano Festival. Okay? I'm going to say over and under at 1, since I made the announcement. Okay, our next performer. This one is a very, very special one for Dr. Rabotin and I. When we first held our Texas State Piano Day, I believe back in 2017, came this little girl as cute as a button, about yay tall, just coming up to the piano. She had no idea she was good. She just knew she was cute. It just all over the place. Now we come all the way to 2023, and Mom can probably fix the number for me, but I believe she's gotten into like 11 colleges or something. Something ridiculous, and I can't believe she's going to college. I believe Cornell, right? Underachiever. So we are very, very happy, and we're very proud to see this next young lady move on forward. We've known her forever, and she's that good. And I want to make an announcement for all of you guys. You'll hear her play a very fantastic Chopin piece tonight, but on June 10th, she is one of our concerto competition winners. So she'll be playing the last movement of the Tchaikovsky concerto. So if you want to come out and support her and hear her dazzle in a different way, please join us. So I would like to welcome onto the stage Miss Ellen Foreman. Thank you so much, Ellen. That was after being in traffic for 2 hours and not having any chance to warm up. My goodness, these kids, they have no idea that the piano is hard. Before we get into our final performer, for those of you who have been around to these a few times, I just wanted to give you some updates on some of our past performers that you might remember. If you remember our little Beatrice Huang, she is currently finishing her junior year at Brown University. If you remember her younger brother, Ben Huang, he just finished his freshman year at Stanford, that unknown school out there in California. And if you remember this other one that you guys all love so much, Martin Kesuma, he is now Dr. Martin Kesuma. So yes, all of these kids are coming a long way. I started thinking about that going, Ellen's going to college? Where did the time go? So for our final performer today, we have Mr. Benjamin Batala. And I wanted to share with you a little news about Benjamin, what happened within the past week. Benjamin has just been announced as a finalist at the Chicago International Piano Competition, which will take place in July. And one of the pieces he will offer is this Scarlatti Sonata, which is a very, very mature work. He plays really well. So Benjamin Batala. timed this better. It's exactly at 4 o'clock right now. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you especially from the bottom of my heart for all of your support for all these young musicians. I have said this to you before. Basically, out of the tuition that we gather from students, we collect around $24,000. The festival itself costs around $120,000. And we allot as much scholarship as we can through really diligent work from private donations and from fundraising, just because we do our very, very best to keep all costs down. If you can imagine how much things cost back in 2010, and you think about how much things cost right now, I think we've raised our tuition by maybe $100. We had to go up a little bit higher with the room and board, but we've tried our very best. So any kind of support is very, very helpful. And I can tell you on behalf of myself, Dr. Rabotkina, and Dr. Park, this is our service work to the piano community. We are most definitely not in it for the money. We can even laugh about that a little bit. So any kind of support that you provide will greatly enhance the lives of these young people. So thank you very much for coming. Beth has mentioned that there's a reception out there for you, and I would like to talk to all of you guys individually as well. So thank you, and one more round of applause for these young performers.
Hey folks, if you look on the screens, there's a QR code that you can use your phone to go directly to the site, and you can do your donations like right here on your phone if you like. So either all of the screens have them on there. So we're all used to using QR codes by now with menus and all the other things. So if that's how you would like to give. And there'll be baskets at the exits as well. And Beth has goodies for everybody that's as you leave just to your left. So there's goodies and beverages, and we're grateful. Thank you, Jason, and to all of those, amazing young people. So.